guys, it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizleee here on YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we're going to be adding to my series called Anti-Hauls, where I talk about things that exist that I disagree with, that I think are wasteful, that I think we should stop making normal. Stop being so wasteful with all of these things. I have a lot of ones that I'm like super passionate about this time. It's been a little while since we've done one, so I'm very excited to bring you another one. But before we get started, I do have to say something because I recently posted a video and I think that this is really important. I don't want to leave it out, hence also why I'm very casual today. I just wanted to get this done. The last video I posted was about zero waste remedies for when you're sick. Now in that video, I said that I prefer not to put man-made chemicals into my body when I'm sick. I wasn't meaning to fearmonger anybody or to put out there that conventional medicine is bad for you. Obviously, there's plenty of science backing that certain medicines do treat symptoms, and there are definitely medications that also fight off the infections themselves as well. I definitely came off as a little bit ignorant or maybe, like fear-mongering. That's not ever what I mean. I went to school for a science degree, and I also like very much believe in science. I've just never been someone that felt comfortable putting in like conventional medicines into my body. Like literally ever since I've been young, I can't tell you exactly what it is. It doesn't feel right to me. So normally when I'm sick, I don't take anything. But I did some research and found some zero waste remedies that I was told and I found research studies on. Since then, a lot of people have told me that those studies are not as thorough as they would like them to be to show that those things actually work. And so I'm not sitting here saying that those things don't work, but I am saying that the research may not be as strong as you may have thought after watching that video. I just want to clear that up because I feel like a lot of people got the wrong impression of me through that video, and I definitely did not mean to make anybody think that I'm anti-medicine, anti-vax, that I don't believe in science, that I don't believe in research, that I have issues with just chemicals, because that's never my intention. That is not who I want to be. It's not who I am. So please do not take my words and kind of twist them into something else. I just wanted to clarify that up real quick. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. There are definitely some alternatives that will help you feel better when you're sick if you want to take something that's more natural, that sort of thing. But if not, then don't worry about it. Sorry, I got a hiccup. All right, but let's go ahead and get into the anti-haul. So I've actually been through a lot of experiences in the last month or so that are going to be included within this anti-haul, and one of them is wrapping people's homes. You guys, I never did this when I was a kid because I was terrified of getting in trouble, but have you ever thought about how wasteful it is for kids to go and buy like dozens of rolls of toilet paper, actually probably like hundreds, because you don't just normally wrap one house, you're wrapping like 3 or 4 or 5, at least the kids that I was hanging out with this weekend. To go buy all of that toilet paper, throw it around someone's house, and then how fucked up is it that you make someone clean that up? But regardless, it's a very, 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 very wasteful thing to do. And so is egging. And some people do like forking. They'll put plastic forks in people's yards. It's so frustrating. And I know that as a kid, you're not thinking about what's wasteful and that sort of thing. But we probably should start educating people, and especially the youth, on how wasteful those things are. Because when I was at my cousin's this weekend, she was begging her mom, my little cousin was begging my bigger cousin, to take her rolling. And they even suggested that I should take them and then put it on YouTube. And I was like, you guys don't know what I do. You have no idea who I am or what I stand for. So yeah, people wrapping each other's houses, egging each other's houses, forking people's yards, all that shit is so wasteful, and probably we could find other ways to have fun that are not illegal, by the way. Again, like I said, a lot of these have to do with experiences I've had over the last month. I went to my cousin's house, as you guys know. I talked about it in the Zero Waste Transformation video, the new series on my channel. I was with my cousin for a week, and one of the other things we did is go to a Bruno Mars concert. She is super into making t-shirts for literally everything, like single-use t-shirts for everything. Her daughter's birthday, her daughter's cheer competitions, the Bruno Mars concert. What else have we made single-use t-shirts for? Literally everything, because she asked me if I wanted her to make me a single-use t-shirt strictly for the Bruno Mars concert. And I was like, honestly, no, because I don't know if you know, I don't really like single-use things. She was like, oh, come on, can't you just have fun every once in a while? Just be fun. And like, that's not fun to me. It's not fun to be wasteful to me, but also you make single-use shirts for everything. And she was like what? And I remember I brought up all these instances and she was like, You're right. But yeah, I just wanted to put that in here because it's definitely something I used to do when I was younger and something that my cousin obviously still does a ton now. It's very wasteful. Like if you know the entire footprint of what it takes to produce a shirt, from growing the cotton, shipping the cotton everywhere, manufacturing the cotton, shipping it again, like just a ton of resources go into that thing for you to wear once. So I definitely would recommend like not doing the single-use shirt thing. This one is slightly morbid, and I just want to talk about it because it is incredibly wasteful, and it's something that no one really thinks to talk about because it is kind of an uncomfortable subject. And not to get morbid because I have already dealt with it and kind of like, you know, come to terms with it. But this past month, I've told you guys, and you might have noticed, like I've been absent on mine and Madison's channel. We've been going through a lot with our families. My uncle recently passed away, and I realized how wasteful funerals are, but it's not the funeral. I'm not saying not to have a funeral, and I'm also not saying not to do this. But have you ever thought about how much money, how many resources, and all those sort of things go into a coffin? Like, I don't know if that's just me. Have I taken it a step too far? You're gonna have to let me know. But paying thousands and thousands of dollars for a box to bury it in the ground seems a little crazy to me. That might be a bit far. That might be a bit of a taboo topic, but please, if I ever die, do not spend thousands of dollars on a box to bury me in the ground forever. I understand some people have like an attachment to going back to where their family member or who someone they loved is like buried and like being there with them. I kind of get that stuff. I'm not that way, but I kind of get it. But that doesn't mean we have to like spend this much money on a box and that many resources on a box to put them there. You know what I mean? Oh, hi, Tippy. Is that a weird thing to anti-haul? Who would ever haul a coffin? But I just think they're very wasteful, and maybe we should rethink that a little bit. I actually have a lot of opinions about how like wasteful and expensive like someone dying can be. It's very frustrating. I've just dealt with a lot of that in my life, and whatever. We're just gonna anti-haul coffins because I think they're unnecessary. So again, another recent event is voting. Midterms just recently happened in the US. If you don't live in the US, you might not know that, but our midterms recently just happened, and there's little yard signs flipping everywhere. I understand they are to create awareness, and if you want to have one in your yard, okay, but if you ever go to the voting polls, you guys, if you go to where you have to vote, there are literally hundreds of those yard signs, and I don't know who thinks that's going to work when there are hundreds of signs, literally, as you're walking to the polls, hundreds and hundreds of signs on both sides of the sidewalk. Who is looking at one of those signs going, oh yeah, that's the one I'm gonna vote for? I know I'm like walking in right now, like maybe I'm not educated, maybe I already made up my mind, but either way, like these hundreds of signs, I'm gonna pick that one and yep, they're getting my vote. No, like no. And the other frustrating part of that is all of those yard signs that are at the polls are still at the polls right now. And I don't know if it's because no one wants to pick it up. Maybe they're the people who didn't win and they want more name recognition by leaving it there. I really don't know what the situation is, but it's pretty freaking wasteful to do that particular thing. Has that ever worked on you? Like you're like walking to the polls and you see like, Amancio, yeah, gonna vote for him, all right. Like who does that? Nobody does that. And I also know that those little voting stickers can be kind of wasteful. I refused mine this year, but I didn't want to include those in the anti-haul because if those little stickers become a reason for people to vote to get the sticker, then I'm kind of for it. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it almost seems like some people will go vote just to get the sticker and then like post it on Instagram, which yes, the sticker is wasteful, but at the same time, voting is so important. So I don't know if I would necessarily anti-haul the stickers. I just personally removed myself from getting one because I posted about voting anyway. I didn't need the sticker to do it. All right, now this last one, I know so many of you have wanted me to talk about. I know so many of you have been sending me, and I cannot express to you how fucking mad I was when I saw this. So it came out right around Halloween. I don't know if the correlation was like hand these out for Halloween or not. By the way, I hold my phone in my hand because I write all the things on my phone and I'm like looking at them. Anyway, if you haven't seen this fuckery right here, Neutrogena has not only now had single-use wipes that are throwaway. They don't only come in plastic now. They are now single wipes in single packages wrapped in plastic again. I'm sure these are useful for someone. I don't know who, I don't know why, but I'm sure they are. But can we Can we just not? Like, can we? I don't know what to say about it other than it is incredibly poorly packaged. It is incredibly freaking wasteful. That thin plastic is very hard to recycle. Some things come in single-use plastic that's kind of necessary, at least it's something I've learned in my life recently. But this is not one of those things. We can get better about learning how to package things in more sustainable materials, especially something like this. There are plenty of options for reusable makeup wipes. There are plenty of options for on-the-go makeup wipes that are reusable. There's also the option of like taking the one that has all of those little napkins in it already that you pull out. You know, it has like 50 of them in it and only one package instead of like 50, literally 50 little packages. You could just carry the one package. I mean, I have to anti-haul them because they are incredibly wasteful, incredibly overpackaged, incredibly irresponsible of this company actually to produce something so wasteful in a time where people are becoming more and more aware of how harmful plastic pollution is. So maybe we can write to Neutrogena. Is that something I should suggest in this video? Write to them and tell them how ridiculous this is. It's not really gonna matter if those items are selling because that's all they really care about is making money. There are currently no laws in the US on the books that say that these companies have to be responsible for the irresponsible packaging that they're putting out there, which is why they don't care. And yeah, what a sad time. But I'll go ahead and write to them. You guys should too. And tagging them in places. I've seen people tagging them all over Instagram and Twitter saying, this is freaking ridiculous. Can we not? So perhaps you can do that as well. But let me go ahead real quick and pick out the winner. This week's shout out. Also, you do get a set of my compostable stickers, so you are a winner too. Okay, so this one's a little bit of a throwback. Alicia tagged me a little bit ago, but I definitely am going back because I missed some of them and I forget to look through them as I'm picking someone to shout out. So this one's a little bit old, not too old, like a couple months, but she tagged me in her zero waste swap that is a safety razor. So it's been a while since I've talked about that, like a pretty good while since I've talked about those zero waste options. So I'm gonna go ahead and link that video right here. If you wanna learn about zero waste shaving, it will reduce your plastic usage by a ton. But I did wanna say that she said, finally took the leap and purchased a safety razor. I'm a little nervous for this, but I know this will save me so much money. Oh my God, good point. They are so cheap. Literally the price of a safety razor is like the price of one of those like switchable head reusable razors, and then it lasts so much longer and it's so much less wasteful. So good for you, Alicia. Thanks for tagging me. Remember, if you want to be next week's shout out, make sure you're tagging me in your sustainable swaps on Instagram, and I might pick you next time, and then you'll get one of my compostable stickers as well. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Let me know which one of these things was the most irritating to you down below. And remember, until next time, we cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye, guys.